Hello and welcome back to Train Sim 5 Send Off, where we are in the 86. Once again back on West Coast Main Line over Shap, but this time we're going from Carlisle to Preston. Let's get this piece set up. Yes, I'm going in here. And flipping arse on. Swinging the door shut. And putting all this on. You have to put that on anyway. So you might as well just put AWS on in the process. Has that put... I'm at the back of him. So in theory we should have a buffet somewhere. There it is. The buffet. So I don't know why the front cam's at the back, so I'm just getting that all the way down here. As you just hear that, the diesel. Obviously for Epic Games users, this... Get that one. Is actually something that you're not getting your hands on. Apparently I've never used the handbrake, the loco brake for this one. Let the brakes charge. So yeah, this is one pack that isn't coming for you, Epic Games. Sorry about that. This ain't up to me, or technically wasn't technically Dovetail. Despite I think they picked what 60 routes. Alright, Tony. Tone somewhere. So, Paul, yeah, fair enough. They picked the routes and DLCs to come over, but they had to pick 60 of them. This, the E94, which are big surprises in some respects. I'll get moving, then I'll keep going. Oh, like I said, big surprises, because I would have said for West Coast Main Line, I would have said this was would have been quite a popular DLC. But was it because it was too late of a release, like the 170s for Birmingham Cross City? The E94, was that way too late of a release to get counted originally? We're not going the full way to Preston, just to point that one out. Although I might be able to get there, but it depends on how many times I use the photo mode. Yes, there's a BR Green 40 parked up over there. And just to point out, we are in fact on the military timetable. So we're on the timetable which you're not getting an Epic either, as A86 comes in. Sterling. I'm only going to do that just so it gets the power up. There is a neutral section somewhere as well, if I remember correctly. Where are we? It's down here somewhere. It's one that you don't actually get marked about, so I do wish, I'm pointing at the track monitor, but I do wish I actually put it on the... There they are, up there. You actually also lose these wagons, I believe, because I believe that you need Tees Valley for that. For those to show up. You actually lose a lot for this route. I'm going to say it, if you've got the option to move to Steam, if you're on Epic Games, move to Steam. Or actually, sod it, move to Steam. Because you're going to have this exact problem next year. And I guess whatever DLC's released in the last perhaps 2 months of before they really say that's all for the next Trains in Rail 6, you're going to lose a lot of those content, that bit of content as well. On Epic Games, if you brought this, you've thrown money down the toilet. It's the best example. And obviously not everything's coming at launch. So you're pretty much having what we had on console a few years ago. At least definitely on PlayStation. I don't know if it was like it on Xbox. Dylan, you're going to have half the content available. You're going to have it in. You're going to have one set then and then the next set then. And I believe this might actually be one of the routes that you get later. It's on the FAQs, so. But you're still getting 60 odd DLC, you're still pretty much losing 54 of it from TSW5. But you might still get Peninsula Corridor. And I'm just going to put that out there because it does release later. That includes both the packs for it as well. I cannot see the red marks for the sun. No, that's not going to work. I will say dynamic weather is on. What, we got blow anyway now. So obviously this was the first loco add-on for from Just Trains. You are getting this loco, however, in Preston Carlisle, Preston Crew. That is Just Trains route as well, just to point out. And the most likelihood, the reason why you're getting this in that route, this loco, is because you're losing it as a loco DLC. So pretty much for everyone else, it's being we're not getting any new locos if we're goes in some respects on it. I'm curious, what time did we start? 13. We might actually get the full route done, as we are a non-stopping service. In an 86. So we're limited to 90, not 100. Oh no, we are 100 capable. As we're going downhill, that's not going to take much to bleed away at speed. That should keep us around 85. Unless we start going down them. Shut up. So what's your drink of choice today? Mine's a tea. That's a bit cold. So I will say, touch wood, that we don't crash, obviously. Because I've heard that, obviously, Richie Rails had a bit of a crash on his route when he was doing a live stream at one point. And then made him go, nope, I'm using PC instead. So yes, I'm on PlayStation, and you can tell we're not having any problems. Like I said, I've touched wood, so which is always a good thing. Hear that running sound? I've got a very good suspicion that we're not going to get a clear run the whole way to Preston. Down to Preston, no. So going future for Epic Games, like I'm going to say this, but I think we might actually see less local add-ons coming out because of Epic Games, and more new locos put into each pack. So in other words, each pack will probably take longer to produce, and at the same time, I'm going to say it, prices might go up. So it'd be Epic Games to blame and not Dovetail to blame, and not when if that does happen. Oh, I just blew the motor. Like I said, I didn't think we were going to get a clear run. Just in case I did that and blew the motor. I'm driving a different version that we did in the first video for this, by the way. Which is going, yeah, obviously northbound, if I remember rightly. In the same type of, with the same in the city look, but it was the one which has the black front as well. We're definitely catching something up. Doesn't take much to drive 100 miles on this road. That'll do for now. I could look at the control and use the controller, but I'm not going to, because I prefer to at least drive without having that cheating option. I've known what is coming up, so let me just press my head against the window and I can actually try and look for the signal. But as long, even if it's changed, at least it's going to allow whatever's in front to get moving a little bit. Single unit. I will have to put power. Oh, great. I'm going to have to put power on whatever anyway, just because we're slowing down a bit too much. It's not going to the red. So something's gotten out of the way. Well, there's something in the siding, so could that be a military train? Be the first time I've actually... No, it'd be the second time I've seen one. I've not still drove any of the services for it yet. And I'm not kidding. So after this, we will have the Class 170 and possibly we'll do guard mode, then look back, then we'll finish it with Peninsula Corridor. The Peninsula Corridor will be for the licensing to the route, so Caltrain. And I will talk more about what's going on with Peninsula Corridor in that route. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for that. Yep, military. Oh no, free. No, it was military. Should have took a screenshot of that one as we flew past it. Never mind. Little friendly toot as we fly past the driver. It's a shame the AI don't toot back, but oh well. Oh, full power, yeah, good. As I say, perfect FPS. So on Train to Mile 6, as it were, I will recommend everyone that gets, when they get it, even in early access or whatnot, or on release, to do the tutorials for the locos first. I'd highly recommend doing that, say, just so it clears them, it gets you a trophy or achievement. Because I guarantee there will be X amount of tutorials as a trophy or achievement rule, as it were. And once you've done that, I might say try and do at least one, pardon me, run on the route. Shut up. As a passenger, or even say stuff it if you want to do something, do it as a guard one. Let the routes cash in all the bits that it needs to, so it will run smooth. And that is actually something that Dovetail do actually recommend to do. Because on routes that you don't touch for a while, they will sometimes go a bit laggy on run because of that reason. And I'm going to have to brake soon because there's an 80 coming up. Keep that into hold. Which I believe is where you're supposed to actually keep it when you're moving. When you're stopped, it goes off, reverse neutral. Sound glitched out slightly though. Neutral section. But we had no problems with it. Blow the horn as we fly through the platform. I will say that I'm actually surprised that Dovetail haven't actually done a timetable on this route, as it were, with a modern era timetable. Yes, we're speeding, but on this route, and I know for a fact scenery will not be accurate, but they've done it with Great Western in the past. with the Diesel Legends pack, which Epic Games ain't getting. But so yeah, I'm actually surprised that he never bothered with this route. They haven't done that with this route, to be fair. Just to put the Pendolino and the 350s on it, that would actually be quite funny. To actually just see people's reactions on that, I would laugh. Darling. Because it will be quite funny. Back up and go to 100. Let's ship it for running me on time. So I might actually allow this one to act like the Frankfurt Folder one, which I just go until we end on itself. But unlike the Frankfurt Folder one, I will be using the photo mode to grab a photo for a thumbnail, which I might do very soon actually, before I forget. Shut up. The thing going off at the same, Vigilance going off at the same exact time that flipping AWS goes off. So I have done a video on the Epic Games situation. I've not done a video on it since they've now changed a couple of the things where you're not getting everything at the launch. But I'm not going to actually really do a video on that. I will say, if you haven't done so, I highly recommend going to check out Train Simulator Driver, aka Paul PSD, on his channel and checking out his videos on it. One of them he probably did when he was in the UK, but on the other one he hasn't done like that. So I highly recommend you to go and see his videos on the problem, because it's probably quite fair on that one, because he's probably the only other YouTuber that I've actually noticed that has actually done a video on it, apart from myself and him. Because like I said, this is a big mess probably for Epic Games users, this logo will be. We're slowing down and I don't have to brake, so that's perfect. We're going to be speeding soon anyway, but hey, I'm just going to do that while we brake. Put it bluntly, they wouldn't have cared back in this time frame if you're braking but speeding. They wouldn't have had people going around randomly, because they actually do that now. They do it to Heritage Railways, in fact. But you can get, as it were, in some respects on it, the railway version of Speed Police, camera police, as it were, the speed camera wise. And yes, that does happen to Heritage Railways, to make sure they're going 25 and not anymore, because that's Heritage Railways, fastest light rail, 25 mile an hour is the max, unless you're the sheer one, unless the one that I can't remember which one it is now, but one of the railways that have welded track. because of the jointed track and smoothness. Apparently, even though they would have had jointed track years ago, you're not allowed to go faster than 25 now over it. But But then going back, considering that some of it hasn't been relayed, as fair enough, it has been relayed, but it never got lifted. It literally just went straight into into preserved, as it were, as they Energize bought it from BR. It probably will still have quite a decent track bed, but they wouldn't have been around back in this time period. I can tell you that much straight away. Like people that moaned about line-side fires. Cough, cough, cough. What did people do back in Steam? So, if you haven't done so already, I'm going to get the YouTube shenanigans once again done. Before we do any other stuff, things by a screenshot. Don't forget the like button and hit the subscribe button. And while I'm here, don't forget to stay around and be here, because everything goes up except my watch views, the watched hours. So don't forget to stay around and do that. So I will say, I don't know when the channel renaming will happen, but it will happen at some point. I need to make more deliveries at the time frame that I'm recording this on. I've only made one. I think I have actually more or less now decided on a name for the channel, but I will keep that close to my chest. But it will probably happen before Trains and Roll 6. So like I said, I need to get it really the jiggy on, because it is the 5th on the day that I'm doing this. That perfect. So we have actually travelled quite a decent section of the route already. Technically, passenger trains don't go the full route either. Freight do. Well, I'm not going to do that, otherwise you can't actually see the speed on. As we're going downhill, I'm just going to allow the coast. So, I think it's time for one of these. So, we're actually a decent mix, to be fair. That'll do. Depth of field. I want to just about see the first carriage at least. Bit of rotation as well. I'm going to do it the way the track is on this time instead of just. Or should I do it? not much for rotation, but I'll do. Up the exposure, bring the saturation actually down a tad from that. That should do. Put the vision vinyl bridge down, or well, does that actually change much? Oh, it will do if I put it upwards. 85. Do brightness can stay the same. Add a bit of grain effect to make it old looking. Yeah, okay. Perfect thumbnail. Anyway, do that and do that. Perfect. So hopefully I haven't lost too much time in that, but there. Sterling. In theory, there should be another neutral section at some point. You know what we need to do? We need to do a flyby. Or at least a bit of a fail one, because how this one's deciding to work. But now we're just braking and accelerating pretty much. Watch it go flat all of a sudden. Sterling. So, while I'm here, apart from on the Pharaoh tour, after Train Sim World 6 has had its full release and pretty much I've had a decent run with all the new routes for the channel on the channel. We will go back to Has It Work, and that will go straight into an ICE run, which all the services have been picked. An SD40 and a 4024 hit. All these services have been hit, so they definitely will not be Train Sim World 6 routes. They'll be from all over the place. And at the same time, the BR hit, 218 and BR185 hits have all been picked already. But then after that we've got a USA and a UK scenario. Pretty much any push-pull cab car situation. A Switzerland hit. Commuter, morning, evening, hydraulic, scenario, fast, low, freight, metro hit, commuter hit, southern region UK, Scottish region, German, Western, Northern, USA, Australian. Then we'll go on to the new content, which will be whatever's at that point of time new, and I'm going to make it new to what I have. So if I picked up North London line, Mardmay, the Mardmay line as it were, that will count as a new content to me, new content hit, definitely. that will also go with local add-ons as well. Then once again we've got a Swiss hit, and then we've got a remastered hit. So West Somerset, I'm going to count Long Island into it because might as well. So any route that's had in some respects of it, a remaster or a graphical upgrade will count to that. Turn my page. Then they've got a guard mode hit, which is going to be an intriguing one because it's probably going to be ages by that point. But this is dedicated to guard mode and not potentially coming out in a random wheel situation. Then we've got a 3-2-3 hit, 47. Then we'll do high and low leveled, which should hopefully be a bit better off this time around. Because why is it be too many low routes? Because of the crash I had quite a while ago. Scenarios, commuter, freight, fast, all set in routes. So this route as the example, we're speeding like no one's business. Then we've got a Scottish, third rail, overhead, which will count for anything that's overhead or anything that's third rail, so it won't be just technically southern region. Third rail I will count underground as well into that. Random hit, not via quick play obviously. Then a diesel hit, metro, Swiss, commuter, fast. Then we've got an expert hit. No, then another cab car, and that will be cast as a cab car hit, and then we do push pull. So technically 2 run versions of push of that, because I'm just going off of what they're called in the game. This will be technically classed as, despite they will both be push pull technically, but Austria. Then pretty much well into the gameplay pack situation. Only 3 of them. Then a mountain route that's got mountains on it, or very steep hills. Then I'm just going to annoy everyone that doesn't like Electrostars, because we're doing Electrostar hit. Scenario, then a Loco itself hit. Then one that will be down to the mastery situation of whatever routes I have on that. Then it'd be what is under as the will of other hits on the list, so Swiss and French. Then it will be Swiss, DMU and EMU. And then currently I've got nothing else planned after that. So if you've made it this far, what I might say is suggest what I can do for video hit for a hit in the future. So obviously to find out, to get those that far into the future, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Because I'm going to go into the future and try and do a mix of commentated videos and non-commentated videos for Train Sim World, just so it can keep the content going, and at the same time might as well situation, and because I bet that he won't be frequent, I can only do these when I can, both of them, which isn't frequent. Trying to work out if we're going to be there or not, but we'll see. that speeding has probably helped slightly. Sterling. We're unnamed as well for this one. So I don't know what they're for. Random bits of stuck up metal. This is why this one didn't have guard mode on it, I believe. Because we're not stopping anywhere. I think it was this mode anyway. 1v72, I mean. Glasgow to Paynton. Oddly enough, this one suits one of the routes that are coming in Train Sim L6. Look, this logo ain't going the whole way to Paynton. This changes to diesel at some point then. So probably a 47 or something. Most likely a 47 anyway. Yeah. Well, no, I suppose, yeah, it would change to a 47 because I think all the 52s probably by this time period were either gone because they were BI didn't want them, or gone either sold to be preserved or scrapped, or they were, a couple of them were still dotted around, so it might have been held by 52. There must be a neutral section soon, due soon. I've not really noticed any, so. As we fly through where we ended the last time we were on this route. Goes to show we're doing non-stop, doesn't it? Neutral section inbound. Won't affect us too much because we're already pretty much going the line speed and we're going downhill, so I'm pretty much just around the coast. Instead of pretty much wasting all the power and stuff. Sometimes with that blue. Must have had a bit of power still on. It shouldn't have blown because I had no power on, so that's interesting. But train heat off, pan down. Don't need the heat on, it's just for the air conditioning. Perhaps we will want power on though, because we're going up a hill. Sure then. Now we're going downhill again. This route is not flat. So, I can't remember when I will have this to go out. So this should in theory go out on the 24th. So this is technically going out a day before early access. Will become available for us lot that have deluxe and special edition. So in theory, everyone should have had the free download, even Epic Game users, even though I'm going to say this, I wouldn't recommend picking Train Sim 6 up on Epic Games. Because Epic Games are more greedy than EA. There, I said it. So I will say, obviously, like I said, this comes out a day before early access. And just to point out something, coming up a day before the full release of Train Sim 6 on for everyone. The full release, so if you've just got the standard edition, it will be a day before your release. I will have the last train spotting on Train Sim 5 video come out, which I haven't done for ages by this point. But it won't be on a Train Sim 6 Train Sim 5 era route, because it will come off of a route that it actually you're going to lose on Epic Games. So a little bit fitting for that, I have noticed, which is not Rapid Transit, Ruzicka Nord. So one of the old routes in Train Sim World. I'm going to actually say this, but I do hope that things like, say, Rapid Ruzicka Nord as an example, not being on Train Sim World 6 won't in some respects discourage them looking at that route and giving that route updates. So it harms the routes that are for everyone else and allows them still to do that. I'm just going to put that straight out there. And pretty much hope it doesn't harm either future add-ons not going to the older routes, as it were, or updates going to these older routes. And I'm not necessarily going at, oh, hopefully it doesn't mean these routes will never now get touched again, won't get upgrades and stuff like that. I'm hoping that they still will do the upgrades to the routes, as it were, when they want to do them. They'll look at the routes, add things to them, potentially add all the features in Train Sim 6 to the routes as well, all the routes as well. Because if I remember rightly, it's the I think in theory, obviously stuff like announcements that won't be, but I think if I remember rightly, it's the temporary speed limits won't, and I think, or is it the no, I think it's the faults, shut up, that won't come up over in Train Sim all of content. I think it's only the signals delayed that might come over to all the routes as well, and it might even be temporary speed limits might come over, but I think faults won't go over, I think it is, and announcements. But then I think on this they could potentially come over because you've got access into that part. So, but it might be loco that would be loco basing for the Forkstar, I believe. That not just route per, because you've got to have access into the capabilities of having switches to flip in that regard. That'd be an interesting one if it's the DST or Vigilance and stuff that fail. That'd be funny. If you're just unscrounged to a halt because the emergency brakes applied, then yeah. That will be interesting. There's the lag as it starts to load up Preston, I think. All the yards around here, I believe, as well. Pacer! That will be why, because there's a 47 with a livery chucked on it in the left side. Yeah. I'm curious, was that 47 you waiting for me to get out of the way? No. Are you waiting for me? Yeah, you are. Well, that was a good thing. We got in front of the Pacer at least. Wish we had 5 start past that Lancaster anyway, but oh well. So what I'm here is, well, she's still around obviously, is to, when you load up Tracing Valve 6 for the first time, don't forget there will be well, tomorrow for you, there will be a thing that comes up saying all layers are switched off. This will be for everyone, not just for console. This will be for PC and console. Even Epic Games, even though I'm going to admit it's going to be probably absolutely pointless. Neutral Jetson inbound, in a mile. It will be probably, give or take, you're probably looking at, I'd say put it on unless you're last gen console, unless you're on a Gen 8 console. But I do say, I hope they still show up actually in timetable. On the menu situation, no, I'm talking about, not anywhere else. And hopefully, blow the motors. Blow the motors. Even I do it. It's getting very bad lag around it because we just had the line coming from Morecambe. So I don't know why I'm born to accelerate that there. So I'm going to say this, at the moment I like the way I did half the route for the 87, which came with the route, but for local DLC I'm doing the full route. And yes, we're getting lag. Quite bad lag for that matter. So we probably won't make the full route. Even though I spent ages speeding. Yeah, we're casually speeding our way through Lancaster. Never mind. We're not now. Because my 5-minute warning situation has turned up. But we have technically now gone the whole route in both videos, so take that as a pinch of what you want to will. So I will let the video just end on its own self. So it will be an hour long. We're not making it to Preston. So if I do come back to this route, it'll be in Trains ML6 now. I still haven't done anything for departures for September. At some point that will happen, but I've mostly been focused on getting these videos done. There should be one more neutral Jackson between here and Preston as well, which is at least a good thing. We might not get to it in the video sense, but hey ho. There, so I'm going to start setting this end off now, so don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Don't forget there is our class 170 and a guard mode and a look back, and also the final one with Peninsula Corridor with Caltrain licensing in coming up to look forward for. And don't forget for you lot as well, probably not fun tomorrow, but probably 2 days from now for you lot, there will be videos from Trains ML6 appearing on the channel. So most of them will probably be going straight out after a quick edit and then straight release, as it were. They might come out before these videos come out or not. Like I said, they might just get chucked out, as it were, a bit hunky-dory, but oh well. But there, that will probably be runs. I will start with the most obvious ones of doing the route tutorials and route introductions for all the routes, all 3 routes. I won't be touching Navaka Dresden, the original Navaka Dresden, because you do get that in with Trains ML6. Even if you get the standard, I believe you might get it. You definitely get it in deluxe. Anyway, and special. So, don't forget like button and hit the subscribe button for those. And at the same time, I'm not an ambassador, so hopefully that might give you an incentive as well. 86 will give you an incentive to actually subscribe to my channel. Anyway, so once again, thank you very much for watching. I've got about, say, a minute or so, say just over a minute for this video, so don't forget to like button and hit the subscribe button. I'm probably going to shut up and allow you just to listen to the train view for about a minute or so. So once again, thank you very much for watching and have an awesome day. The 170 will be coming up next.